had a perfect youth intake on Football Manager, and for the first time it feels like I influenced the outcome. In this video, I'm going to show you how to improve your chances of getting good players come through the academy on Football Manager. The first thing you want to do is to sign a head of youth development that matches your playstyle in your team. So if you see my head of youth development here in Ngelen Kanyo Mudau, he has a playstyle that matches the playstyle that I'm trying to play with my created team in South Africa. So we do have a tactical style of gegenpressing, passing, but it's a mentality slightly cautious and slightly more defensive, so we don't really overpress your position, even though we're trying to win the ball back as quickly as possible when we are in our defensive third. So you can see my tactic here, it matches the same formation that the head of youth development has as well. You can see our out of possession is slightly low block with a much more often trigger press. The preferential goalkeeper distribution is somewhat irrelevant because I only use that when I push with a high line and try to compress the teams and press teams from the front, but more often than not we're slightly more defensive and play with a low block and a much more often trigger press. My former head of youth development was a lot better than the current guy that I'm working with right now, but he kind of parted company with me when I was trying to sign this other head of youth development in Bruce July. Bruce July is quite good and is the ideal candidate that I do want because he has the same playing style with slightly better attributes. So this is the style of play in case my team goes on to become a better team as we go on to develop the squad. I would eventually sign Bruce July, as he's already in the staff shortlist as someone I'm going to sign much later. But when I was trying to sign July, the contract didn't work out, and so I lost my former head of youth development, and then I had to sign somebody else that was worse than the staff I had before and the staff I was trying to sign. And apparently I went to look for a staff that was, let's say, slightly more accurate, even though his attributes were not very good. That's when I went on to sign this guy here, and then he went on to give me very good youth recruitment. The next sector you want to look at is your club's facilities. You can go into the club info over here and then check your club's facilities. Currently my youth junior coaching, they said it's not so great, but I'm going to show you what the facilities mean. Or you can go into your club info and then go into facilities. You can see that my junior coaching is good. My youth recruitment is excellent. So what you have to do is to ask your board of directors as often as possible when you're on a good run of form or towards the end of the season when the board has money, go on to ask them to improve your youth recruitment and your junior coaching. You can do that in the club vision as well. And then go on to make the board request, ask them for, where is it? Networking is going to show you improve youth recruitment. I think I can do it right now because we're doing quite well. We're exceeding expectations in some departments, so I'm just going to go in to ask the board that they'll get back to you shortly to see if they're able to approve that, and if there's money they're going to accept it. If there's no money, they'll probably decline. Another aspect you're going to want to check is your youth staff. So looking at my development center here, right at the bottom corner, you can see the development center. You go on to click that, and then you can see your youth staff. You can see the reserve staff, the under 21 staff, and the under 19 staff. Depending on the kind of team they're using, it could just be the under 18 and the under 21 for you. So you just go into your staff and then make sure that you have a good staff available to actually train these players. I don't really see it as a super important aspect. That's why I kind of left it out. The main ones, the most important one is the head of youth development, of course, but the youth staff sort of helps. So if you have a good youth staff, the players that come through your youth academy will they're obviously going to improve better. So I think the staff is down to training the players that do come through and then have them develop all the way. But to get those players that will come into your intake, you have to deal with or get all the other aspects that I mentioned, get them right at first. Now, another thing you want to pay attention to is your club's philosophy and your club's vision. So when you're renewing your contract with your club, try to add youth agendas and all those develop homegrown players into your contract. Try to add that into your club vision because it does help, and it also improves your chances of getting an acceptance from the board. And if you're going to look at something like this, let me show you the transfer activity here. You can see the board request data, and then I've gotten 50% of my requests approved and 50% of my requests rejected. So if I do have in my contract that we're supposed to develop youth players as a club vision, as a club agenda, the board is going to likely approve more of those youth recruitment requests that you make, and they're going to likely approve and accept your youth training, development, youth scouting range, increasing all this kind of stuff to help you get young players into the squad. If that's in your club vision, more likely your board is going to accept that offer. So go on to include that when you're renewing your contract, or when you're just signing on for a new club, if you're changing clubs, try to get that in there. It's going to improve your chances. And if you found this video useful, remember to leave a like on it and also subscribe to the channel if you aren't already subscribed for more Football Manager secrets like this, tips like this that I think everybody should know. Do subscribe to the channel, and also if you have questions about youth recruitment, feel free to leave it in the comment section down below. I'm going to try to answer those questions as often as I can. So thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.